Many still believe in witchcraft in certain parts of Africa, and it could have disastrous ramifications for certain groups of people. Now, recently, an albino toddler was found killed as a result of witchcraft. This was Johanna Bahati, and according to reports, the mutilated body of an albino toddler has been found in Tanzania with his limbs hacked off, the latest such killing for body parts for witchcraft. Police finding the body on Tuesday afternoon in a forest area close to his home. So what will often happen is those who believe in witchcraft will use the limbs or the body parts of albino individuals in witchcraft ceremonies because they believe that it could bring good luck. For instance, in some cases, political opponents in the area will rely on witchcraft in order to bring them good luck in elections. And so it's a big issue within the society because it's not just people living in rural parts, especially when you have politicians who believe in this kind of stuff. It's almost as if they're advocating for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so a couple of notes here. Number one, the messages that you put out make a difference. You put out messages of discrimination, hate, and you get back hate, and you get back a kid who is chopped to pieces, right? So now it's true in a story we did yesterday about the culture of rape in India, right? People say, oh, well, she had it coming, and next thing you know, the guy who raped her says she had it coming, right? So now the second part of this is as bad as it gets. But it's interesting. We have no geopolitical interest in Tanzania, so of course we're not going to do anything about it, right? Now, if you substitute Muslim for witchcraft, and you substitute another reason why somebody would be getting dismembered, etc., we go to war, right? Now, does anybody think that going to war against Tanzania would solve this issue?
No, of course not.
No, so that's why I bring this up. I mean, isn't that interesting? Like, that would be absurd, right? It'd be absurd. Like, why don't we go bomb Tanzania? You'd be like, wait, no, you're going to kill a lot of innocent people. What are you doing? Don't go just randomly bombing the country. Right? Even if you're trying to get the people who did witchcraft, there's got to be a better way than just dropping bombs from the sky. But when we say it about Muslims in Iraq, Syria, etc., people go, oh yeah, obviously, bomb away.
And look, I think a lot of that is fueled by high-profile cases where, you know, extremists do things like shoot and kill innocent individuals that work for media companies that they disagree with, right? But stories like this don't get as much play. There's no question about that. And so that's part of media propaganda. When the media decides to focus on one demographic and completely ignore a different demographic. And the thing is, when you really look at the United States, right, what is the one thing that religious people fear the most? Education. They're always talking about how education is indoctrinating the youth because the more educated you are, the less likely you are to be a fundamentalist, to believe in religion in the fundamental form. And so the best way to combat issues like this is education, right? It's not going to war. It's spreading the truth about, you know, science and why the world is the way it is, you know, using evidence-based, logic-based information to convince people that what they're doing in Tanzania is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and it's part of the local culture, and I've always said this, I believe it's some cultures have some parts that are toxic, okay? But the answer isn't always violence, right? So now what they're doing is hideous violence to these poor kids, right? But we gotta be smart in how we combat that. So of course I agree with Anna, you have the long-term strategy of education, and then the short term, if you want to do incentives for the government to take action and to find at the local level the particular people who are doing this and set an example by putting them in prison and saying this is not right, doing an education campaign in the short term as well as the long term. Yeah. See, that would be a smart way to handle that. And I hope that they do that in this case, although there isn't a great indication that they're making a concerted effort.
Right.
But wouldn't it be great if we could be smart in all instances?
Yeah.
And, you know, treat some of the other issues that are also horrific in our world in the same way, instead of just saying, oh, no, the answer is always war.
Yeah. Well, the answer is always war when there are people that stand to make a lot of money through going to war. So if that incentive is there, if that profit motive is there, we're not going to go the logical route. We're going to go the violent route.
And Anna makes another great point about the media. I mean, if they put these kids' pictures up every single day in the media and said, look at what's happening, look at the people, you know, that are practicing witchcraft, and look at how bad and evil They are, and they're going after these poor kids. Well, there'd be a lot more momentum to do something, right? And there'd be an outcry. I mean, right now there's a new poll out saying that 62% of Americans want ground troops to fight ISIS. Why? Because every day, look at ISIS, look at they're dismembering people, they're chopping people's heads off, right? If you did that with this, who knows, maybe we'd get ground troops in Tanzania. I don't want that, right? But so the media has a huge effect here. The other part of this is that people in America can't relate to it. You can't relate to being attacked by people who believe in witchcraft.
Right, it sounds so outlandish.
You can't relate to being an albino in Africa. So when there's the Charlie Hebdo attacks by Muslim extremists, you go, oh my God, that could be me. Oh my God, we got to stop them. We got to stop them, right? When a kid's getting his, limbs chopped off in Africa, and you think, that can't be me. There's no chance somebody practicing witchcraft is going to mutilate me. And so I don't care as much about it.
Yeah.
Right? They don't necessarily think that out loud, but subconsciously that's what they're thinking. And that's why there's not a lot of action.
Yeah, I mean, what drives people to act? It's usually fear or self-interest.